Hello viewers, welcome to today's edition of Religious Vocation Digest. God has been so good to us, and then we have come your way once again to share yet another vocation story with you. We are also live on Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast, YouTube, Cafdil EDU. Share the link with friends and family. Send us your comments. It could be questions. In case you've experienced the guest in any way, you can also send some words of encouragement to him. We take a break here. We'll be right back.
I'm Sister Juliana Atuna.
I'm Sister Grace Kweini.
The two of us come together as vocation directors for the SMI congregation. In collaboration with us are the various sisters at particular places of apostolate, as well as the dioceses and parishes that they are working. We admit candidates from the senior high, the TVET, when you complete with good results that can take you to the next level. And also from the tertiary, if you have worked or you are waiting for posting, you can come. We admit you, and after that, you give your best to God through our congregation. If you are desiring to join us, contact us on the number 0242 874 500. 0242 874 500. Call us and we will answer your call, and we'll try to let you know more about us, and you will not regret. Come and let us serve the Lord in this vineyard. Thank you.
You're welcome back once again. This is Religious Vocation Digest here on Cafdil TV. Today we are doing the vocation profile of I don't want to use the word old. So an experienced sister who has spent most of her years in the religious life. She has lots of experiences to share with us, including the foundation history of her congregation. Without much ado, I'll go to my guest to begin today's conversation. Sister, you are most welcome.
Thank you, sister.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Can you please introduce yourself to us?
I'm Sister Valeria Zaasaan, Sisters of Mary Immaculate.
How many years in the religious life?
59.
59 years. So very soon you'll be 60 years.
I didn't hear the question.
Very soon you'll be 60 years in vows.
Life.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And what was your main apostolate during your youthful age or before you retired? What were you doing?
I was teaching. I was a professional teacher. I did a secondary school, St. Francis, and I went to St. Louis Training College, 2-year post-secondary, and I did a post-A course, so I'm a professional teacher. And I was teaching in different schools in Tamale, in Dafiama, and I opened Laura Catholic School in the year 1987, and it was from there that we had a general chapter, and I was no longer teaching. I had to leave that in order to take up assignment for the whole congregation for 12 years. And after the 12 years, then I retired as a professional teacher in the year 2004.
So Sister Valeria is an SMI sister, just as you heard her mention. Take us back. How was the congregation started?
Before I give the history of the congregation, if you allow me, I will introduce the founder of the congregation.
Okay.
Before I see how it started.
Okay.
Our founder is Bishop, Right Reverend Bishop Oscar Morin, missionary of Africa, who belonged to the White Fathers, as we used to call them. And they were also founded in Niger, North Africa. And he started as a bishop of the whole province, not the ecclesiastical province. And all those who know, the whole north, it was taken up by the White Fathers. At the beginning, when Bishop Morin came, he had to travel throughout the whole province to see the situation of the people before he started his mission. And going around, he saw the misery of the women and children. They were the underprivileged. Children were suffering from mumps, from ulcers, from bilharzia, and this man was moved with compassion as to how to help these people. So he was inspired to start an indigenous congregation with women who know the language, the culture of the people, because they are together. And with this, he started from the year 1928 to 1935. He attempted to start the indigenous congregation for the upliftment of these women and children. Unfortunately, it was difficult and he failed several times. And as I mentioned, there was his brother bishop in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, who already had started a congregation of the indigenous women in the year 1924. So he was inspired by the Spirit to go and consult his brother bishop. How have you been able to do this? I am also struggling to start the congregation, and I find it so difficult, and I'm not getting any success. So they discussed together and agreed that if he could send the girls, the aspirants who are ready to be sisters, to join his congregation in Burkina Faso by the name the Sisters of Mary Immaculate Conception in Pabri. And so when they came to that idea, I'm sure our loving Father, wow, he said, this is an excellent situation, this is an excellent agreement. And then, merci beaucoup, with a loud voice, merci beaucoup. And then he came back home, 1934, that was the same year. He sent 3 girls to Pabri. The following years, he sent other girls. 1944, 4 girls, also from the Dagaba land, came over. And all that was happening in Navrungo. It wasn't a diocese yet, in Navrungo. So they too followed to Pabri. And then, as time goes on, they realized that the number was increasing. So Bishop Stefano was facing challenges in connection with accommodation and feeding. So the two of them had to talk together and decide what to do again. And by that time, the first and second group, they became sisters already. So in the year 1944, 3 sisters were sent to London to open the first convent. And they arrived there to the joy of everyone of seeing religious sisters for the first time. And we were the first one to be formed in the Gold Coast at that time. So they were so happy to have the sisters. Then the following year, 1945, they said, well, I think it is time now you start in your own country, the Gold Coast. So one of the wise sisters, by name Sister Gerard de Moreau, who was part of their formation team, left with newly professed sisters and the Sisters of Mary Immaculate and 10 postulants to Navrungo. And when they came to Navrungo, they started the formation. They continue with those who were postulants already, and then more aspirants were then going to join them. Then the following year, that was 1946, the great thing happened. All that while, our founder was making arrangements, Constitution was written and approved, and now he is ready to start with the encouragement of his brother bishop, and now he was ready to begin with his own people in the Gold Coast. And thus, the Congregation of the Sisters of Mary Immaculate was founded and canonically erected on 6th March 1946. That is how the SMI congregation started. That's the very beginning of the congregation.
Okay. So from your banner, I can see Mother Samuel, who became the first Superior General.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a Ghanaian, so how did she become your first Superior General?
Yes, that was why I mentioned at the beginning. Okay, I didn't include the wise sisters. They are also founded by Cardinal Lavigere. And so they and the wise fathers, they work together. So those who were in Burkina Faso, the wise sisters trained them.
Okay.
And so they were still with them. So when they were coming, one of the wise sisters accompanied them to continue to train us in Navrungo. And therefore, since we were newly formed, one of the wise sisters was the Superior General. they continue to guide us. And as we go on, you will see how it happened and how we came to be autonomous. That is how the white fathers are there. Because they are twins, the founders, for the white fathers, the white sisters is the same. That is how they get into our life. They, like baby nurse, that's why she had to accompany them to Ghana so that it help us to continue, to start and to be on our own feet in the future.
So starting the congregation, what was the charism of your founder? For starting SMI, what was the charism?
His charism, he just saw that these people, the way they are, I have to bring them up. And his charism was to build the kingdom here on earth based on what he experienced. You know, the charism and the vision are the same. When you see the situation, his vision was to form that so that the integral development of the women and children will be taken care of. And therefore, he bring in apostolic activities like teaching, nursing, pastoral work, catechesis, and all that. So that was what is charism, to reach out to the people we are serving.
How many years did the white sisters stay with you until you became autonomous?
The white sisters stayed with us until the year 1970.
Okay.
But we are grateful to God that we had some people to lead us to a point, a point of departure.
So which generation do you belong to? I mean, from the first sisters to your time.
Well, maybe the middle generation.
Okay.
Because I entered the congregation in 1960.
Okay.
And I made first professor in 1966.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Okay. So now let's talk about yourself.
Okay.
Where did you have your basic education?
A very interesting question. I didn't go to school before I entered a convent.
Okay.
Then I have to start when I was born.
Yeah.
Okay. I was born in 1943 to Valeria Zaasaan and Antonina Huyua. Unfortunately, when I was 6.5, my mother passed on. And my grandmother, paternal grandmother, she took over our education. I mean, formation is also education.
Yeah.
Our formation and our spiritual formation. And I can see that I picked up the spiritual formation from my grandmother. We were only two, my sister and myself. If you don't pray, you won't go to bed. If you don't pray in the morning, you won't go out. So that is what he brought us up. Once she's going for Mass every Sundays, I have to take the lead and she follows. And then when we go, after reading the Gospel, we will stay and attend the second Mass because he will say that we missed the Mass. You cannot receive Holy Communion. And then that is how she started training me. And when I was growing up, after First Communion and then confirmation, we were going to the catechism for catechisms. And it was there that I was feeling some interest when the catechists talk about vocation to the priesthood, vocation to the religious life, and vocation to the marriage life. And I saw some sisters also coming to the village to visit people. And one day I went with my grandmother to attend Mass. It was a weekday. And I saw the sisters, they had a retreat in Dandam, and they were living in a primary school. And then in the morning, I saw them walking out with their immaculate white dresses with white canvas. I stood, and my grandmother said, "What are you?" I said, "I'm looking at these people." So I started growing, the interest started increasing in me. So when the catechist talked about it, I said, I would like to be one. But then I didn't know that you have to go to school before going to the convent. Because I saw the sister, I don't know how they started. Then one day I told my grandmother, she said, okay, if you are interested. Then the catechist who has been giving us the catechisms concerning our life, he said, the sisters said, if you are older than 15 years, they will not accept you to go to the next parish for the formation. Hey, I quickly ran to the parish office and asked, can you check when was I born? And how old am I now? So they told me I was 17 years already. I said, hey, but I won't give up. So anytime they were going to the catechist's house for I would also continue to go. So one day the catechist said that they have called me and one of my sisters from the same house to come to London for an interview. So for the first time, I was sitting in front of 3 sisters, immaculately white dress, and they were asking me some questions. Hey, my knees started to knock. They said, you relax. And then after the interview, I went home and I was waiting. And one day the catechist called me and said that I am one of those chosen to go for the training. Hey, thanks be to God.
Were you not surprised?
I was surprised because I was told if we are older than 15 years, they will not accept you.
And even without education.
Without education. So from Co, one of the first sister who took over from Mother Samuel, she was there teaching us in vernacular, Sister Emiliana, teaching us in vernacular and in English. And one of the white sisters, they were also in Co, one was teaching English. And they say you have to speak English. Can you speak? So we use one English word and add the vernacular. One English word and add the vernacular. And when we are doing that, she wrote our names on the board. If you see even one English word, she will give you good marks. If you are speaking the God always, then bad mark. You are not trying. After 2 years, we became postulants. And then we went to Dafiama. And then that was 1962. 1964, in Dafiama, you have to continue with serious classes. So 1964, I entered the novitiate with my friends. 1966, first profession on the 15th of August, and that was my birthday. So 15 August, it was a great day for me. So I made first profession. And that day already I was 23 years old. After profession, the priest called me and said, this time, that was the time Cardinal Derry was a bishop in the year 1960. And then they divided the diocese, one diocese, the first bishop. Okay. He came and saw our situation, and he said, those of you who can study, let them go to the 4-by school. He didn't have it easy with the white sisters and with the authorities of the school.
And they didn't have intention of taking you to school?
Pardon?
They didn't have any intention of taking you to school?
Yes. So he said, he stood his ground and said, let those who can study go to school. And when we went, the school authorities said, these are big women, why can't they come and occupy the place of children? He says they must be there because it was not their fault that they didn't go to school. And fortunately, the head teacher put me in those days, middle school. He put me in middle form 2. And so I was also there. At the end of the year, terminal exam, I was first. Hey. And I said, okay, then it means something is coming.
There is hope.
There is hope. Form 2, they were writing entrance exam into St. Francis Secondary School, Jirapa. They said I should try. So I also wrote and I passed.
Wow.
So I went to St. Francis for 5 years, secondary school. At the end of it, they sent me to St. Louis Training College to do a 2-year post-secondary course as a trained teacher. And I did. My first posting was to Salaga, from Salaga to Tamale, from Tamale to St. Victor's. That was well, it wasn't a mistake. They asked me to ask for study leave without pay after I taught for 4 years. So I went to St. Victor's, also taught and worked for 4 years, and then I left and continued to school. 1992, then I was called into the office. Okay. So that is my educational story, leading me back into the office. So I didn't teach for a long time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The first term of office, I was assisting somebody, so I was still teaching. But once I took over, I cannot combine. I kept on going on secondment, until I retired. I was only given the promotion. I entered, I have to go in for interview and be promoted. So when I reached senior superintendent, then I retired in the year 2004. Okay. So that is my simple vocation story and my educational story.
Yeah. How many were you in your group as formatees?
As formatees, we started from Co 32.
You were 32?
In Co, all of us were home girls. Yeah. And then some started running away because at a certain time, the food staff was not there, and the sisters were debating whether to send us home and then bring us back. So some ran away, and then some also left. So when we were going to Dafiama to continue with the VCA formation, we were 13. Okay. And then from there, some also dropped, and some school, those who finished middle school and came, they joined us. So 4 of them joined, 3 of us to make first profession, final profession, and jubilees. Okay.
So 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take a memory lane down to your formation days. Just as you said, you couldn't speak English, so communicating with the formators was a bit difficult. Can you throw more light on that? Some experiences, the funniest parts?
Well, communicating with maybe the African sisters, it was easy.
Okay.
Now with those who speak only English, now you speak the Congo English and they have to understand you. One day I went to the farm. When I fell and then had problem with my leg, and one of the white sisters came around and asked, Valeria, how are you? What happened? I said, you should wait until I finish crying, then I will tell you. So they started laughing at me. My communication wasn't the problem at the initial stage, but in Dafiama, we picked up and we were able to communicate.
Was life in the formation house difficult for you?
Well, as far as manual work is concerned, it wasn't a problem for me. As far as the formation, the spirituality, and then your self-formation, sometimes you have to face certain difficulties. Yeah. And facing those difficulties, you realize that it is not bad. You have to face difficulties from your formatees. When there are problems, then you learn how to solve them. And then we also form groups. I had my group. We talk to each other. If I'm doing something it is wrong, call me and tell me. So that when they are making remarks, I know that I'm the one. I'll go and apologize. And then that is what we're doing until we made first profession. And anytime I err and they call and told me, well, I had to accept it and apologize. So that was how I went on. We had spiritual director, one of the white fathers. He was coming regularly. So you go and air what you are going through in your prayer life, and then your workplace and whatever. And then he continue to guide you. It is going to be like that in life. So it's a growing process. The spiritual life, it is not a static thing. So that is how I started from Formation House. And then I continue after profession, getting people to help me in my spiritual life as spiritual directors or spiritual companions up to date. Yeah.
You started in a group of 32, and 7 of you made it. When those girls...
The actual group, we were left with 4.
4, and then 3 others joined.
Yes.
Okay. So when those girls were leaving or running away, just as you said, did you ever think of joining them at certain points?
No, those who were running away, you don't know that they have, even unless afterwards you know that somebody ran away.
Okay.
But those who were leaving, those who were close to me, sometimes I felt, why are they going and I am staying? And the time that I had an accident on my leg, later on I always reflect. I wonder why I didn't even ask them to send me home. Because I was down for 3 months. And then I had to suffer the pain. They boil hot water, put salt inside, and I put it in, remove it, but until the thing was healed. That was the time I would have said I am going away. If I asked them to send me home, my grandmother was still alive. She would take care of me. But will I come back? Because I want to be a sister. So that was the thought that came to me. So, like Ignacio would say, I was going through discernment. Should I go because this is happening to me or not? But finally, by God's grace, I don't know why he kept me there. I didn't decide to go with him. So I stayed.
So on the day of your first profession, how was the feeling of your grandmother?
She was too old to come. My stepmother and my father came. They came. But my grandmother was too old to come.
But you went home to see?
Yes, I went home to see her.
And she was glad to see you?
She was very happy to see me. And she even lived until I finished the training college before she died. At least she had a long life.
Yeah. How old was she?
Pardon?
How old was she?
She died in her 80s.
Okay.
And I'm now reaching 80. So maybe she has left that blessing. she has left that blessing for me.
Yeah.
So that is my life.
And you became the 4th Superior General?
No, not the first.
4th?
The 4th.
Yes.
I was the 4th one.
Which year was that?
I started in 1992. In 1998, we celebrated the Golden Jubilee, and I continued to 2004.
Okay, Golden Jubilee of the congregation.
Yes,
Okay.
Golden Jubilee of the congregation. And then in 2004, I retired from both sides.
Okay.
I finished with 12 years office, and then I was 16 years.
We shall talk more about it.
Okay.
This is Religious Vocation Digest here on Cafdil TV. Having a conversation with Sister Valeria and SMI sister. We take a break here.
I'm Sister Juliana Atuna.
I'm Sister Grace Queenie.
The two of us come together as vocation directors for the SMI congregation. In collaboration with us are the various sisters at particular places of apostolate, as well as the dioceses and parishes that they are working. We admit candidates from the senior high, the TVET, when you complete with good results that can take you to the next level. And also from the tertiary, if you have worked or you are waiting for posting, you can come. we admit you, and after that, you give your best to God through our congregation. If you are desiring to join us, contact us on the number 0242 874 500. 0242 874 500. Call us and we will answer your call, and we'll try to let you know more about us, and you will not regret. Come and let us serve the Lord in this vineyard. Thank you.
You're welcome back from that short break. If you're just joining us, this is Religious Vocation Digest, and we're having the vocation story of Sister Valeria, an SMI sister. If you are a young girl or a young woman considering religious life, speaking to Sister, I know you may or might get an inspiration from there. Their number is on the screen. If you are interested in joining the SMI sisters, kindly give them a call. The vocation promoter will be glad to hear from you, and then the necessary assistance that you need will be given. We'll then continue with our discussion with Sister Valeria. Sister, welcome back once again.
Thank you, sister.
Yes. Before we went on that short break, I mentioned the fact that you became the 4th Superior General of the SMI Sisters.
Okay.
Take us through that particular chapter, the chapter that elected you as the Superior General. Which year was that? And then roughly how many sisters were at the chapter?
The first chapter was in 1992. I think the number was, 35? About 35. And then it was not easy for me at the end of the chapter. I mean, with the election, I was not expecting to be part of it again, because I was then the assistant and I knew I had lived the 6 years. I was not expecting it. But unfortunately, on the day of election, it wasn't good for me. The way the numbers were coming up on my name, I said, I don't think I can do this.
Before then, you were on the council. Were you a council member?
I was the assistant to the one.
Oh, okay. So you thought your work has ended?
It ended because I was council member for 6 years, and I thought I had enough. Because I combined that with the teaching in Catholic school that I opened in Laura. Yeah. And I went through a lot. I think that was enough. And then when the numbers were coming out, I didn't know where I was anymore. I was sitting down there, but my mind was not there. It was just, I can't describe the feeling now.
Yeah.
And then until it came up that I had the majority vote, by that time, the bishop had traveled and he asked the Vicar General, late Monsignor Renews, he was then, he said, sister, this is what your sisters are asking of you. What do you say? I could hardly open my mouth to say yes or no. And I was just done. What do I say? If I cannot say, I cannot. And God has given me the mouth. When you ask me to do something, I don't want immediately to say, I cannot. It means I'm running away from some responsibility. So I was just until I opened my mouth and I said, if God wants me to suffer from the SMI congregation, I am willing to act. Then the tears started rolling, and I was just weeping seriously. And the hall was quiet. Then finally he said, sister, it's okay. I understand you. When they were clapping their hands, I think they were pouring hot coal on my head. Because they were happy and I was just burning. I was just burning inside. So I wept and wept until we come to the end, and I had to accept it. And they elected the other councillors. So I had to go for the 6 years. 6 years is not a small thing.
Yeah, we'll come to that. So let's have a little education here. So when I asked Sister about the chapter, chapter is a meeting, just as you are now aware of the conclave, where cardinals go to elect a new pope. Yes, in religious life we call it a chapter, where various congregational members. So if it is the SMI sisters, only SMI sisters will go. And if it is for a period of 10 days, no one goes out. They remain at the center until the Superior General is elected. So when you hear of chapter, it is not a secret thing. It's just as you know of a conclave where cardinals elect a new pope. And when you are elected, just as it is done for the pope, they have to find out from you whether you accept to lead the congregation for a period of years. When you agree, then your supporters or counselors, that is, other members who will help you in your affairs, running the affairs of the congregation for till the next chapter, will also be elected. So that is a little education about a chapter when it comes to electing leaders for various religious congregations. So sister, back to you. How was your experience as a superior general? I mean, the first 6 years.
The first 6 years.
6 years as a superior general.
Well, it wasn't easy as far as financial matters are concerned, as far as the sick people are concerned, as far as transportation is concerned. I had to carry sick people from one hospital to the other, carrying people to Accra. I remember how many of them are carried to Accra for operation. Then it was a lot of stress on the part of the administration. And those days it is not easy to come by money, medical expenses. And then other young ones who are coming in, they need to be educated. And now you have to find a means of allowing them also to take the chance. Using myself as an example, I know how some of them feel if they are not given the chance to go for further education. So it wasn't very easy, but by the grace of God, with prayers and the support of the council members and the support of the communities. When you visit the communities around and you see that they are trying to live a simple lifestyle, a prayer lifestyle, and then the spirituality of the senior sisters. When I was visiting around, that touched me a lot. I said I'm in the middle one, so those I met.
Yes.
And then, as a speaker general, go and meet the same people, trying to be a leader over them. I have to humble myself. And then I experienced a lot of their spirituality, their simple lifestyle. And then that gave me a lot of courage to continue. I must say I appreciated many of the young ones. And I have a lot of mentors from them. Most of them are gone to the next world, but a few of them are still alive. So on that part, I must say that I was grateful to God.
So after your first term, you thought it was over?
I thought it was over.
And then the second one
And
came.
the second one hit me again. And what can I do? The second one hit me again. And no amount of weeping could save me again. So
If the people want you, what can you do?
no amount of weeping could help me.
Yeah.
And I had my imagining that no amount of worry can solve any given situation. So I had to struggle again to accept. And that was what happened.
Okay. In your 59 years as a religious sister, in summary, what can you say about religious life?
Religious life for me, it's a beautiful experience. And I must say that I chose the right congregation to enter.
Good.
And if I should die and come back and God will say, which congregation? I say, I would like to go to the SMI congregation. I would like to join it. Because a simple lifestyle, we work together, we pray together. There are certain things I don't aspire for so many things.
Yeah.
I don't aspire for goodness. And I like to be at the level of my sisters. And then, so I think I don't regret being an SMI. And anytime I'm talking to the young ones, I told them, after these years of experience, I'm not regretting for the life that I have chosen. If you see me, I'm very old. Don't look at my old age. Look at who I am.
Yeah.
So it has been a beautiful experience, though difficult at times. But who will go through life all smooth? It doesn't happen. And Jesus said it. If you want to follow me, you have to carry
Your cross.
So the crosses that come, I try to carry them, and I realize that when I'm in difficulties and I try to go over it, and I become stronger to continue to live. So I don't regret for being a religious, and particularly for being an SMI sister.
Yeah. Before your first appointment or election as the Superior General, you started a school.
Yes.
Where?
Laura.
Is it a basic school or a secondary school?
Catholic. I mean primary.
Primary.
Started a primary school.
What motivated that?
The chief of the village said they have been ignored for so many years that when the White Fathers came, they were supposed to settle in Laura. And I think those people at that time didn't accept them. They moved to Jirapa.
Okay.
So the chief at that moment said, at least he wants a Catholic primary school within Laura town. And so he asked the parish priest if he could convey the SMI sisters to come and do that. They suggested 3 sisters, and I was the one. He said I should go. Even though I was the assistant, I had to combine that job, and I went and opened that school. Now, when I meet the students, I'm very happy. They are all in high positions.
Yeah.
Pharmacists, doctors. I met one of the teachers yesterday. We stood and talked. The first staff I had, they were all very dedicated. The parents supported. There was no structure, no nothing, but the parents built a much class with 3 of them.
Yeah.
The small staff room, small office. And I managed for the time that I was there, and I handed over to one of our sisters. And then about 5 sisters took a succession of that school until they had no anymore, and a lay person took over.
Okay.
So that school has grown. It has grown, and
So you handed over to the government? Or it's still in the name
it's still in a Catholic school.
Okay.
It's a Catholic school.
Okay. So what has sustained you this far?
The school.
What? No, you personally. What has sustained you?
Well, I think maybe I don't know whether I have the courage or I have the determination or whatever. But I think when things come, I allow it to happen and I let go, whatever comes. Whether difficult or fine. I know difficulties have to come. And then if it is too much for me and I share it with my director or spiritual guide, and then I'll continue to live. And then I thank God that if I'm still able to pray, even though I can't pray well, but I know that God listens, even when I'm tired and I'm sleeping over the prayer. But the community life also is still sustaining me. Because in the community, you see that one sister, you see that she is trying. Even at my age, there are some who can be an example for me. So the community life is sustaining me. Prayer life is sustaining me until this point. Apostolate, I cannot do much. What I'm doing now, I just give catechism to Holy First Communion and Confirmation. On Sunday, they are supposed to confirm some of those that I prepared. So if I'm able to go tomorrow, I will attend the mass for that. So I still try to do something, to be busy in the community, so that I don't feel bored.
Okay.
I like moving.
Yeah, there is this saying or adage in Tree that says that in Chilean Kamfono, the salt cannot praise itself. But then I want to pose this question to you.
The salt cannot
Praise itself.
Yes.
Yes, in Chilean Kamfono.
Okay.
Yes. But let me ask you this. What do you think you'll be remembered for?
Me.
Yes.
It's a bit difficult question. I don't know what they will remember me for. I try to live a very simple life. I'm open to everybody. I don't like quarreling. If you quarrel with me, I don't like it. So I'm open to accept the young and the aged. So I think I'm a good mixture within whichever group. And that's what whether they will praise me for it or they will continue, I don't know.
Yes. I would like to go like you and even beyond. So what advice would you give me?
What advice would I give you?
To live this religious life free of mind, doing what I'm supposed to do, and to live a happy life.
Okay. If sincerely I want me to advise you, I would say your lifestyle is important. Yeah. When I talk of lifestyle, I mean where I go, what I do, what I eat, how much I think I should eat, what I drink, how much I think I should drink, the company that I move with, and where I don't feel comfortable being at, then I don't find myself there. And then in the community, I try to open to everybody. If I offend you, tell me you have offended me, and I apologize. If you keep grudge with me and I don't know, okay, well, you are doing yourself, and I'm walking free. And if I hear somebody insulting me, I said, that's happening, I say, okay, if the person wants you to come and tell me, I don't act on hearsay. If I act on hearsay, I'm not too fair to myself and to the person. Maybe the person has not said this, and the one who is reporting to me said other things. And I use that in the office. I never confronted anybody on hearsay. So that is how I live my life. Just be who I am. Open to all. Know how to take care of myself. Then the community, be attached to the community. The community is important. You are not living I'm not living an individual life. Wherever I'm going, the community knows that I am absent. I'm going here and there. So that is what if you want me to advise you, that is right.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate your advice.
Thank you.
So, Sister Valeria, the youth out there would also want to seek an advice from you, just as you've given me. What do you have for them?
For the youth, well, as I said, my lifetime is important. But the present youth, it's not easy to deal with them. When you are talking of trying to correct them on their lifestyle, it means you are preventing them from being free. They want to protect their freedom, and they want to do whatever they want to do. They want to go wherever they want to go. And if I will advise them with sincerity, normally when I'm teaching them the catechism, I put all these aside. Know where you go. Guide your, observe your company, the company that you follow. Don't just move anywhere because others are moving. Don't do what others are doing. Be of yourself. Listen to your parents because they have given birth and they are guiding you. Do not use things that will harm you. When I say that, they will laugh. They know that maybe drinking other things, taking drugs unnecessarily. When you are doing all this, you are just damaging yourself at the initial stages. And I said that is why these days you see that the young ones are dying and dying and dying. And I always believe it is because of their lifestyle. They are careless with themselves. They take in substances that the body does not accept, and they force it into the body. They don't care about the church. They don't care about prayers. They move where the group is moving. And so to advise the youth now, well, you take your time, you do your best. Some may listen, others may not. So it's not easy to advise them. But if a young religious or a young one asks me, I will give the advice and tell people, this is what I feel about you. And each individual has got whatever he's struggling with. It's not everybody who does the same thing. So I will advise the person according to the way I see you move, your movement, your interactions, your speech within your peer group, your behavior pattern, the friends you move with. All these things are important. So I will advise them that some may accept, others may not. So once you are supposed to lead them, all these are important. You just don't educate them like only the classroom. Even outside the classroom, there's a lot of formation to be given to the young ones. And that is what I continue to do through the catechism that I'm teaching them.
Thank you, sister. SMI is grateful to you for accepting to lead them for 12 good years. They appreciate all your effort.
Thank you.
And we at Cafdil TV, we are also adding our voices to theirs, that God continues to grant you more years and the strength that you need, even as you are still aging, so that the young ones coming may get to experience you and also benefit from your experiences. We are grateful to you for your time.
So thank you very much. for traveling all this way, for listening to our stories, and for being part of us. And we pray that our religious life will continue to grow together.
Amen.
I think that's the importance of this program.
Yes.
We give glory to God
Amen.
through our growth together.
Amen. Thank you, sister. So this is all time will allow us on today's edition of Religious Vocation Digest. The number on your screen is the Vocation office number for the SMI sisters. If you are interested, kindly give them a call. I am Sister Marian, and I'll be glad to have you same time next week. Have a good night.